The first time I truly fell in love, truly, it's when I held a camera. You can get inspiration from anywhere. To me, photography has been therapy. Whenever I take that camera, I just get lost. And I become a little kid with a toy. I even have a name for my camera, Vago. I'm Ramsey. I show people the imperfect beyond perfection.
Oh, go back. Think a lot.
I remember vividly my early memories of seizures. My mom tells me that I was born with epilepsy. Just like any other mother, she took me to the hospital. And back then, when you are taken to the hospital, the easy answer was malaria. So I was put on a certain treatment, but it never used to work. Kept going back and forth. Growing up, I suffered from regular crippling seizures, like 3 times a month. I can tell when I'm about to get an attack because of the way I feel. Sometimes even it comes as a hallucination. You thought that you are curing a certain problem, then you go and find out that you've been treating something that does not exist. My mom could not afford to take me to see a specialist. Such tests like EEG and MRIs were things for the rich. When we talk about mental wellness among people with epilepsy, it is overlooked. Emotionally, epilepsy feels like, it just feels like a prison you're trapped in. It's until, I guess, 3 years. That's when I was able to go for a proper diagnosis, being an adult. That's how crazy it is. I'm still healing until today.
There are quite a number of barriers that sit between the people living with epilepsy and the appropriate care that they need. One of those is actually an understanding from or within communities about what epilepsy actually is. It's a disease like any other that can be treated. The second barrier is we do not have enough trained people to identify epilepsy definitively. Then thirdly, the diagnostics that goes with it, like for instance, access to EEG, a reliable EEG technician who knows what it is that they're doing, that is severely constrained. One of the ways we can try and close the epilepsy treatment gap is also trying to see how can we leverage on technology to help us close that gap.
The idea behind brain capture is to offer affordable EEG scans and interpretations to everyone. In low and middle income countries, EEG devices are exceedingly rare, difficult to buy, and hard to operate. Neurologists are also very rare. In many countries, even just 1 for 5 million people. For these reasons, accurate and timely diagnosis is lacking, and that's what we want to change. This is our cap. 27 channels.
Let's try the tighter cap, because look, see when we get...
It's been designed to be really easy to use, really durable, it's siliconized. So you just put the cap on, center it in the correct way, and that'll give you the right, what's called a 10-20 electrode configuration, which is basically taking electrical signals from the brain. So this is our amplifier, critical for amplifying those faint signals in the brain. And then we've connected it to a smartphone with an app that we've built. It enables a non-expert to take an EEG recording almost anywhere with a pretty low level of training.
We are doing hyperventilation.
And then enables that data to be read remotely and sent back to the point of care where it can be used in diagnosis. Akkodis helped us very early on to develop electronic architecture that would allow a low-cost amplifier that still delivered really high quality. By using the tools of the 21st century, smartphones, AI, automation, we can supplement existing practices. If you have the proper diagnosis and you take the proper drug, around 75% of people with epilepsy can live without seizures almost their entire lives.
It's funny how something simple as a photo can change the way people perceive you. So suddenly, you become a photographer who advocates for epilepsy as opposed to epileptic photographer.
So brain capture, being cost-effective, being mobile health technology has the potential to significantly reduce the number of disability years some of these people undergo just because they cannot confirm a diagnosis.
Hopefully, epilepsy diagnosis and care can be much more democratic in a global sense.
There's every reason to be very optimistic and very hopeful. If the brain capture technology is approved, it's going to be a game changer.